Thanks for clicking play. Back again, but this time a little more serious subject. My thoughts on the abortion debate that's going on right now. And what I personally think, I guess, is another, what I would say like a third way. I heard a lecture by a professor named Walter Block, probably 12, 15 years ago, not really sure. But he had a theory for abortion that he labeled the evictionist theory. And I've thought about it for years, and I think it is, to me, I think it's the best way to deal with abortion going forward. I do believe a woman should have the right to evict a child when she's pregnant at any point that she wants. I do believe that. But I also believe then you lose all parental control. You lose all rights to that child. You don't then just get to say, I want it torn to pieces, or I want it killed. You can say, I don't want this in me anymore. Please take it out. For most abortions, I think there's actually a chance of survival of the child. And I think this is the only way you can allow a mother to say no, but also give the child a chance at life. Once a woman says no, she says, evict the child, I don't want it. Like a landlord, you now lose rights to where that child can go. In a lot of cases, I would see like a father, grandparents, and plenty of people in most people's families that would probably step up and say, I'll take it. Don't kill it. I will take it. And you end up giving up your rights. And even if there was no one, think of all the church groups, pro-life groups, adoption agencies that would be motivated to step up and take parental rights, whether it be momentary or instant adoption of some sort. It gives the child another chance to life, and it gives both sides of this issue, I think, in many ways what they want. Women want the choice to be able to end their pregnancy whenever they want, and the people who are around those women are seeing children that are not getting a chance to life. So you would give them a chance, basically put their money where their mouth is, and to take over responsibility for a child that is unwanted. I think a side bonus to this theory, or this way of dealing with abortion, is the medical advancements that I think would immediately follow this type of cultural change or policy change, or however that would be instituted. All the groups that would then start donating money towards prenatal care, premature birth care, and medical science and medical advancements in prenatal care and 3, 2, 1. I think it would also help drive money into that part of the man. I don't even remember where I'm at. 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome back. Today's a little more serious. I want to talk about my thoughts on abortion. It's pretty heavily in the news, thanks to old Chucky Schumer. I want to share a possible third way, I guess. I've only heard this, what I heard called the evictionist theory for abortion. I heard Professor Walter Block, I guess around 12, 15 years ago, give a lecture using libertarian and landlord and eviction law to explain a third way to deal with unwanted babies. I do believe a woman should have a right to end her pregnancy when she wants, or evict the child when she wants, and that's starting at conception till days before birth. You want it out, we will take it out. But I think you lose all rights to decide what else happens to that child. You lose your parental rights, you lose any ability to decide what happens to that child's life once you say, please take it out. I think it would not only allow a woman to have the choice to evict when she wants, but it also gives the people around her the chance to save that baby's life. And that is really what the two sides want. One side of the issue wants the choice for women to be able to say, no, I don't want the baby whenever they want. And then the other side wants to save babies. This is a way to let both things happen. You don't want the child, you say no, it's evicted. But now there is a line of people that I think would end up being decided on basic common law parental rights, meaning, father, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, family members would be first in line to be able to say, we'll take responsibility from here. As well as pro-life groups, churches. Think about all the groups that have a lot of money to spend. Wouldn't this be a great way to let them spend it, trying to save babies that normally might not have a chance outside the womb? And that's another part of it. I think the money influx into hospitals and into research in dealing with premature babies would get a big spike. Churches, pro-life groups would be motivated to put money into research that allows us to gestate and finish babies from a younger and younger week in the pregnancy. And I think I recently saw a 5-month-old baby has survived now. I think I saw it was like a year ago, and recently they came out and showed pictures of I think it's a little girl. So that window of life is expanding. And this would allow research into that exact part of science to be increased and to get a lot more money. And then eventually I think we could shrink that window, or I guess increase that window and shrink the time of non-viability outside the womb. Keep shrinking it until this subject of abortion is practically dissipated completely. I mean, if it got to a point where even just weeks after conception, we had the ability to take a fertilized egg and incubate it to a full person, there would be a lot of family members out there that would be able to step in. And I think even in the worst situations, I know often people like to use rape and incest as the example for why a woman might not want a baby, and that's understandable. I can't imagine how I'd feel personally. But even in that worst case scenario, you would have groups that would still be willing to take that child regardless of the circumstances of its conception. The woman gets to say, I don't want this child. It's a product of like the worst experience of my life. I'm never going to be able to treat it well. I'm never going to be able to look at it and love it, what have you. Okay, fine. You evict. We'll take it from there. Might be family members, might be church groups that would be able to say, I don't have the same emotional feeling towards that child. Let us take it. And so I think medically wise and research wise, we could get to a point to where we could almost take this issue off the table. But it would take a lot of people changing their attitudes to something like an evictionist theory for abortion. So think it over. Tell me what you think. Leave some comments, share, like, and maybe we'll talk about this again sometimes. Tell me what you think. Thanks. Peace and anarchy.